welcome back to my channel. It has been so long. I have missed you guys so much. It has been longer than a minute since I've last recorded something. People have been asking me when are you coming back? When are you recording something? Guys, I'd like to apologize for the delay. Life has just been so hectic, left, right, and center, school, family, everything has been so difficult to juggle, but I'm here, and finally I've had the opportunity to put down my thoughts on paper and to have the opportunity to record. I've been putting a couple of thoughts down on paper, but I haven't had the opportunity to record. So we are here, finally. Eventually I am back, and I hope to be able to complete or to be more consistent rather with my videos, so that we can have more conversations around the issues that pertain to our life, issues that help us navigate through the complexities of what life can entail. So if you're joining us for the first time, you are so welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, bona wena mina now so fast lahlane. So thank you so much for continuing to like, to share, to comment, and to subscribe. Invite your friends, invite your family, invite everybody in, and let us all be part of this family. So guys, today I've written down notes. I've got a couple of notes and thoughts that I've put down on paper. So if you see me just reading, it's just to make sure we don't miss any point today. So grab your poison of choice, be it your coffee, be it your water, be it your cool drink, whatever it is. Get yourself cozied up, get relaxed, and let's get right into it. So here we go. So guys, on to the topic of today. As you have seen in the title of today's video, it's centered around success. What is success, and what does it take to actually reach a level of success? Now, this is part 1 of a 7-part series. I'm hoping that I will actually get to do all the recordings in time, but today I wanted to start with part 1. Before I get into the details of everything that I wanted us to talk about today, I just wanted us to get a few definitions out of the way, just to try and elaborate more and understand what success is. Because one of the things that we need to be aware of is what success is to you and what success is to me might be something that is very different. There is no one box or one shoe fits all picture or face of success. But at the core of every level of success, or every experience of success, is the personal interpretation of personal fulfillment. Because when it comes to success, whether it be personal success, professional success, whether it be financial success, every level of success or every type of success, there is a personal interpretation of personal fulfillment that comes with success. So it's so important to understand that success can be interpreted differently by different people. But at the core of what success is, there will always be a personal sense of fulfillment, a place or a feeling of wholeness and wholeness and fulfillment when it comes to success or the achievement of success. So with that being said, it is very important to understand that just because the world sees you as achieving on the outside does not necessarily mean that you as an individual feel like you have succeeded or you are successful in a certain area of life. Because success in personal terms is attached to our values, it is attached to our ideals, it is attached to our priorities. So whenever someone perceives a person as being successful, it does not mean that that person also perceives themselves as being successful, and vice versa. Someone might not perceive another person as being successful because they haven't achieved a certain level of financial success, or they haven't achieved a certain level of physical attributes that may be perceived as being successful. But that does not necessarily mean the person themselves don't have a sense of personal fulfillment. And this is where the trick comes in. This is where it becomes so tricky, because in order to have a well-defined interpretation, or a well-defined interpretation of what success is, there needs to be a level of authenticity and a level of authenticity and vulnerability. Because in order for you to set out what success is for you, requires you do a deep dive into what you have perceived as valuable, what you have perceived as priority in your life. And mind you, this can be very fluid. It can change over time. There's nothing wrong with it, because as individuals, because of the level of exposure that we have, because of the level of growth that we experience, certain things unfold and change over time, because of the fact that our values might change, our priorities might change in different stages of life. So what you may have perceived as a definition of success for yourself when you were in your teens might not be true when you are in your 20s, might not be true when you're in your 30s or your 40s, and that is okay. The most important thing to come to terms with is the fact that the definition of success, in order for it to bring the fulfillment that it is able to bring you, requires a level of authenticity, and it requires a level of trust and vulnerability. Because failure to be vulnerable and authentic, you will always be shortchanging yourself, because you will always be cutting and pasting other people's definitions of success and try and create what seems like success to the world, what seems like success to other people, what seems socially acceptable, and make it your own interpretation. But you will always feel shortchanged all the time, because you will say, okay, I've achieved this, but why do I still feel like I'm empty? Why is there always this level of void that I have? It is because you have not done a deep dive into what is kin to you, what is authentic to you, what speaks to you, what is value to you, what is a priority to you, so that you, whatever it is that you are then pursuing, whatever it is that you are then focusing your energy in achieving, resonates with the depth of who you are. But we live in a society whereby we are so fearful of being authentic with ourselves, because sometimes it may not be what is socially recognized as success. Subsequently, we have built into our framework, we have built into our psyche an idea or an interpretation of what success is, based on the environments that we find ourselves in, based on the culture that is within society. And all the time we find ourselves chasing our own tails, or chasing a level of success. And we never feel like we are getting there, because all the time what we are chasing is a figment of other people's imagination. It is not something that resonates and something that speaks to who we are. With that being said, success requires a level of authenticity, so that ultimately we can get out of success what is able to give us, which is a sense of personal fulfillment. So what I want to talk about in this 7-part series, I want to talk about the pillars, not even the pillars, but rather the tools and the attributes that will help you get to a place whereby you are able to achieve a level of success, or you are able to be successful in life, in whatever it is that you are pursuing. There are principles and there are systems that govern the way that we do life, so that we are optimal in each and every area of our life. So before I miss out on a point that I want to talk about today, let me just make sure that everything is in accordance. Number one, what I want to talk about today specifically is accountability. Now, per definition, let me get the definition for us today. Before I lose it, I actually wrote it down so that I do not lose it. I don't miss it. So, accountability, per definition, is the responsibility and the obligation of individuals to answer for their actions, for their decisions, and the resulting consequence. So, in a nutshell, it is the obligation, it's the importance of being answerable for whatever it is that you are doing, whether it or saying, whether it be your actions, whether it be the decisions that you make, but you are answerable to something or to someone for whatever it is that you are doing. Now, I think there has been such a negative connotation to accountability because of the fact that accountability has been strongly associated with the idea or the concept of being monitored or being babied. A lot of people are very averse. They're very against the idea or the notion of accountability. Why? Because of the fact that they feel like within themselves they are able to self-govern and self-monitor. Thus, there should not be a need for them to be answerable to something or to someone. There is a shortfall in that school of thought, because in every area of life we have mechanisms or systems that exist within ourselves that prevent us from going outside our comfort zone. We have systems built in within us that reinforce self-sabotaging tendencies. And sometimes we are not even aware of the fact that there are systems, there are mechanisms that are built within our framework that keep us bound or to self-sabotaging tendencies. I mean, okay, let me see if I can find a nice example to explain this thing. Sometimes there are because you have a certain vision that you want to achieve, There has to be certain practices put in place in order to get you to a place whereby you may achieve that certain vision or that certain goal, or realize that vision or goal. But one of the reasons that you may find yourself going around in circles is because of the fact that there are self-sabotaging tendencies or practices that prevent you from breaking through to achieve a particular goal, to realize a certain dream or a certain vision. And failure to have a system or a mechanism that keeps you accountable always keeps you in a state whereby you are going around in circles and ending up at the same point. Because what accountability does, it's a mechanism or it's a system that does not submit to you as an individual, but it is more committed to the vision, it is more committed to the goal than it is committed to you. What do I mean? If accountability was committed to you, committed more to you than it is committed to the goal and to the vision, what it would do is that it would continue to help you compromise in areas whereby you need to evolve in order for you to become the person that you want to become, in order for you to realize the dream that you want to realize, the goal that you want to realize, the vision that you want to realize. It would continue to assist, or it would continue to help you stay in a state of compromise, because ultimately it doesn't want to offend you. Accountability can be very offensive because what it does is that accountability calls you out on your self-sabotaging practices. Because accountability, the system and the mechanism of accountability, if accountability is done well, the system of accountability has to have a level of integrity. Why? Because it needs to be reproducible. If accountability does not help you achieve or realize the goals and the dreams, it is not reproducible. Therefore, it's not dependable. Therefore, it's not reliable. Therefore, it is not useful as a mechanism to help you achieve the goals and the dreams. Hence why accountability needs to be more committed to the dream. It needs to be more committed to the vision. It needs to be more committed to the goal than it is to you. Because what it will do, it will help you identify certain blind spots. It will help you identify certain self-sabotaging tendencies. It will help you recognize your areas of compromise. And it will call you out on those and force you to rise to the level of where it is that you want to go. But if we fail to recognize and to submit ourselves to a system or to a mechanism or to a structure of accountability, we will always be shortchanging our dreams, our goals, our vision, because of the fact that our egos are too big, are bigger than the vision that we have of ourselves. Because of the fact that accountability forces you to give an account of all your actions, of all your decisions. It's a system that requires that of you. If your ego is too big, you find yourself always saying that, why do I have to account? No, I can self-govern, I can self-regulate. I don't need a system that is bigger than me, that is outside of me, to tell me how to navigate my way. But the problem is that in as much as you may think that you are able to self-govern and self-regulate outside of the context of accountability to a bigger structure, a structure that is outside of yourself, you are unable to recognize blind spots within yourself that keeps you captive in the state that you're in. And as a result, you keep pursuing, but you are never able to break through the glass ceiling. You are never able to break through a certain threshold or certain boundaries because you are relying on yourself to take yourself to a place that you have never been. Accountability, when done right, because listen, the system of accountability requires a level of trust, because you need to be able to trust that it has been to places that you have never been. It is able to take you to places that you've never been. And as a result, that is a process. You are submitted to the process that it is forcing you to go through. The process that breaks down the walls, the process that breaks down the self-sabotaging tendencies, the process that breaks the cycle of compromise. Failure to submit to the process of accountability or to the system of accountability will always keep you in a cycle of compromise. It will always keep you in a state where you've always been. And it will always prevent you from reaching the goals and the vision and the dreams that you aspire to reach and to achieve. The system of accountability is a system that exists on the outside of you. It can't exist within you because there are limitations, there are boundaries that you may not be able to see, understand, break through from unless you commit yourself to the process and to a system and a mechanism of accountability. I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense, guys. It's something that I've been thinking about lately. Just catch us on the next video. I'm going to be talking more about the success equation, the system of a success. How do you get to a place whereby you move from one level to the other? This was the first part of a 7-part series. The first one today was talking about accountability. Join us for the next time, for the next video. And thank you so much for continuing to share, to like, to subscribe. And see you next time. You are loved. Thank you and welcome back. Mwah.